Hi there. Welcome to Apple World. Suge Knight as of late said he used to be a genius. And presently he's simply a no-restriction warrior. What do you tell that nothing he used to be a chief currently? He's a detainee wound. Someone do those sort of wrongdoings, they won't come to jail. One of the explanation that Snoop would never come. I mean, Snoop was on you. Realize we beat a homicide preliminary for him. However, at that point he was waiting on the post-trial process. Then he got found out with the 2-0 of Mary Jane, then he got found out with firearms, and each time it's nothing and not going to disregard him on the grounds that for the road folks know what I'm talking about in the latest episode of his digital recording Gather Co. with Suge Knight, the previous music tycoon. Uncovered his own world, probably in light of the fact that he was burnt out on being such a long ways from the spotlight. Following the new disclosures, this discussion from Suge Knight's jail cell had everybody talking. For those of you that may not definitely realize, Suge Knight was one of the most notable and horrible superstars of the 1990s. His name alone made individuals shiver in dread, and nobody at any point screwed with him, and it has been known for some time he's held resentment against Snoop Dogg, and he perceives how Snoop is living outwardly and is jealous thinking about the amount he helped him when it attended this court date during the 90s too, where he sidestepped a weighty jail sentence. Without a doubt, the detained maker made a stunning case against Snoop Canine, and the data he uncovered in that open conversation may be adequate to place Snoop in a similar cell, as Suge had guaranteed that the police had neglected essential sign in Snoop's M case, and that truly he should have been spending an incredible 20 years in jail. Rings $6 million on that youngster to ensure he didn't get life in jail. Consistently went to preliminary, and those folks needed to come affirm against it. S100, it was 100 pie and bloods out there remaining in front that court those flop need to stroll past. So for me to ensure this person, put my own opportunity in state to ensure this person don't be in jail to return and part up with Michael Hare, who committed misrepresentation against me, which in itself is a type of self-squealing, as it appears as though Suge is obviously getting tired in jail and needs to drag Snoop down with him. He was likewise expressing that Snoop Dogg committed extortion with Michael Harris, which we'll look at presently. In addition, Knight repudiated his cases to by and by saved Snoop Dogg from a possibly life sentence, saying rather that Snoop would in any case carry out his punishment in jail. Sprinkling soil on Knight unveiled dishing out a surprising $6 million to manage various Snoop and M case-related issues, for example, thwarting an extortion endeavor with Snoop's inward circle, and in any event, meeting with a confidential specialist to eliminate any confusion. It guarantees that his mediation made a probably implicating tape disappear after the evaporating act. No doubt I met with and he came clean with him and gave him some proof. So it happened. Snoop director at the time, she dat the police. The police knew the PI for the dia. They was able to converse with me since they say this person is G to affirm that Snoop the A single shot the fella and killed him. He recorded him. I heard it for myself that I needed to make a move. He got some bread. He obliterated the tape, and that is one of the thing anyway. What provoked Knight to talk about this occurrence 30 years subsequent to imperiling his own previous craftsman is that, as you might review the rapper as of late obtained Suge's mark in 2022, apparently Knight has a long list of motivations to expect that the rapper did as such. Through obscure arrangements in an April 2023 sound delivery, Knight uncovered reality with regards to Snoop around's responsibility for name interfacing it to an impulse criminal demonstration, including Snoop and Michael Hario Harris, the mark's initial money year, and a sentenced head honcho, which we momentarily examined before in the video return, and part up with Michael Harris, who carried out misrepresentation against me, and the line said they going to attempt to pick passing R this B, which isn't correct yet. Regardless of whether it was you should both attempt to get it back to the role proprietor. You didn't address demise R when you on death R, that is on law. Some ass individual that is after it is, they after that is realities. So when you look at that would get the police hot on me for doing the things by ensuring Snow thing get life and afterward it's really crazy when you consider what might have been for Suge Knight. He was the brains in the domain. He had legitimately fabricated, yet his own self-image obliterated his profession, and presently he's landed right around 30 years in prison. There's nobody to fault except for yourself, despite the fact that you can comprehend the reason why he would be so jealous of Snoop Dogg, thinking about the amount he helped him out in his vocation, to then get his whole mark taken off him. Knight was truly questionable about Snoop's status as the name's genuine shot caller and denounced Harris of misleading people in general by guaranteeing that Snoop had an accomplice, Michael Harris, and that when you take a gander at it, they had committed liquidation misrepresentation. I did nothing ill-advised to lose my organization. Malik gave careful insights regarding the preliminary and its procedures. 2 years earlier, he discussed the homicide accusations that he and Snoop kept away from. In a meeting with Kalmam Capo News toward the start of 2021, he recalled the gangster purportedly leaping out of a shrub and going after a firearm that he felt would have been terminated at him and his boss following an actual squabble with Walter Merriam. When I saw him begin to arrive at that point at which I took my weapon and terminated, he said there was like a little my expectation was that I needed to hit him in the lower part of his body. So as I'm pointing, he's turning, and as I'm pointing here, I fire. When he was turned, he got hit in the hip and in the shoulder bone. Sadly, the one that went through his hip went through him and his shoulder. He takes off and he runs. We figure out that when he ran, he dropped around 50 or 75 yards away. He dropped not too far off, and that is tragically when he passed on. Lee went on by saying that the firearm was taken by the casualty's companions, which is why it was missing when the police later appeared at the scene. Before we go any further into the video, what are your folks' straightforward considerations on this whole circumstance? Is it looking Snoop Dogg could confront a few serious repercussions for his past activities, which Suge Knight has been exposing, or will he stay a liberated individual? Remark down below when Snoop Dogg has as of late gotten some information about Suge's job in death row records. He appeared to get rather set off over the inquiry in question. What about death? The number of connections you made with death? Everyone? What is RO? Was there any discussion about Ro's role in all of this? I mean, what job is he talking about? I don't realize I'm asking. Have you been listening? No doubt it was sold 3 or 4 distinct times. So where does this job matter? A ton of fans in a flash got on this with posts, as it doesn't make any difference who possesses death row. Suge Knight will constantly be the person who is,